Welcome back to GoonerPavilion, where you come for the Arsenal and stay for the family. I'm your host, Eddie, here to recap an eventful week for the Gunners and preview our upcoming Premier League clash against Crystal Palace. Let's start with last weekend's Premier League fixtures, where Arsenal faced Everton at the Emirates. Despite possession, creating several chances, the match ended in a frustrating 0-0 draw. Excuse me, my voice is going. Nothing seems to connect in the final third, and it raised concerns about our finishing. However, the Carabao Cup comes to lift up the spirits, right? You always want another game to come in that actually starts to help you feel better about a disappointing performance, and that's exactly what we got. We got a tonic from that game. Gabriel Jesus scored a hat-trick, and for me, that was just what we needed. Eddie Nketiah came back to the Emirates. I've got love for Eddie Nketiah as well. Absolutely love him. I felt that he needed more chances in Arsenal. He's gone to Crystal Palace, and I know things are not going that well with him, but it was good to see him score. Hopefully that gives him confidence in going into the next couple of games, even though I don't want him to be scoring in this weekend's fixture, obviously, for obvious reasons. But guys, what do you think about that performance? Shout out to Kieran Tierney, because he came into that game and he played really, really well. I'm glad that Mikel Arteta gave him a lot of minutes. I know that I think he was cramping or something like that. He had to come off the game, but he's not done nothing wrong, right? Really, he came into that game, into the game after not starting when Zinchenko came in and took his spot. And Zinchenko has made a couple of mistakes and still gets into the team. I know Mikel Arteta talks about how he wants to play that left back position, and I know that is not something that Kieran Tierney really, really does, which is drift into the midfield and create that overload in the middle of the park. It's something that Timber and Zinchenko can really do very well. Kieran Tierney is your typical fullback that overlaps or underlaps and get crosses into the box. And look at that cross that he made for Raheem Sterling, who should have scored. No reason why he shouldn't score. But Tierney, I hope he gets another game as well in Arsenal before he leaves, because I think definitely this is his last season in Arsenal. I'll be shocked if Arsenal offer him a new contract or keep him around, because he's probably third or fourth choice, fullback right now. Even Skelly is ahead of Tierney right now, so I think it might be time for a new challenge. And hey guys, from that performance, do you trust Gabriel Jesus to repeat the performance in the next game? Because I don't, and I think that's part of the problem, right? He doesn't put back-to-back good games in together, and this is playing away from home. I see Mikel Arteta reverting back to Kai Havertz, who was completely rested in that game, to come back into the lineup. And Kai Havertz has really been scoring, but I think it opens up the questions about Arsenal, what they're going to do in that January transfer window. For me, it's about getting the points, because we haven't put a run of games together. I don't think we've put 5 winning games together in the Premier League this season. This is what you have to do to win the league. You can't go 3 games and a loss, 3 games and a draw, 3 games, 2 draws. You've got to go out there and put a run of games together, and that's what we need Arsenal to do. Now, off the pitch, there's lots of conversations going around. The January transfer window is coming. People are beginning to think, who should Arsenal get in the transfer window? Obviously, a lot of focus will be on the attacking side of the pitch, getting a striker in, and one player who's been muted to leave his club. I think definitely that's more than likely to happen with all the things that have been coming out in the press recently. It's Marcus Rashford. Marcus Rashford in an Arsenal shirt, going from one red shirt to another red shirt. How are you guys feeling about that potential switch if it ever comes to pass? Now listen guys, I don't know about you, but I don't like players coming from Manchester United. We haven't done very well in that department. Remember Sylvester? Remember Sylvester? He was awful, awful in an Arsenal shirt. I remember when we had Alexis Sanchez go over to Manchester United. Who did we get back? I think we got Danny Welbeck back as part of that deal, and maybe Mkhitaryan. I think so. I'm not quite sure. You guys will correct me in the chat. I mean, Welbeck did decent for Arsenal, but we had to move in on very, very quickly too as well. Mkhitaryan really didn't do anything for Arsenal. So for me, I don't know about players coming from Manchester United, but Ian Wright seems to be defending Marcus Rashford. This is what Ian Wright said about Marcus Rashford. I got to Arsenal at 28 and it changed my life. Sometimes a new challenge is all a player needs to reignite their passion. Listen, guys, I get it. Ian Wright's story is one for the ages. He's coming into Arsenal way that he did and becoming Arsenal all-time goal scorer before Henry broke that record. But I don't know about Marcus Rashford coming and repeating the same feat for Arsenal. I just don't know. There's a player in there, but I don't know if it's about talent, if it's about football, or what it is. And maybe he does need a new environment to completely change him, but it's about trust. I don't know if he's going to get that trust. And we've seen Raheem Sterling, right, come to Arsenal and not gotten the trust from Mikel Arteta and is sitting on the bench even when Arsenal need a result. I don't know if Marcus Rashford is not going to do the same thing, but what do you guys think about that? I think it's time for us to focus on the next couple of games, and then when we get to January, let's see what's going on. Guys, looking ahead, Crystal Palace again, this time at Selhurst Park. Palace is on a 5-game unbeaten run in the Premier League right now, making them unformidable opponents with players like Mateta posing a constant threat. Guys, we know Kivio's not going to play in this game. I expect Gabriel and Saliba to come back into this game. And I think that makes a huge difference to our defense, in what we do at corners as well. It makes us a threat on both sides of the pitch as well. Declan Rice did not play in the game over the weekend. He was rested. I expect Declan Rice to come back into the squad as well, with Martin Odegaard and Thomas Partey as well, who was pulled a little bit. Now, Thomas Partey, I don't know, because sometimes you just don't know if he's going to be available for the next game because he's been so injury prone. But Odegaard and Declan Rice, that would do me very nicely. Mikel Arteta said in his press conference, every game is a new challenge. We respect Crystal Palace form, but our focus is on implementing our game plan effectively. About time, right? We need to implement our game plan, and we need to put a run of 5 games together. This is what you need to do to win the Premier League. You cannot be doing 3 games and a draw, 3 games, 2 draws, 3 games and 1 loss. I don't think we've put in 5 winning games in the season, all season. We've only won half of our games, right now, which is really poor. If we maintain that kind of form, we're not going to be anywhere near the top 4, never mind the Premier League. So we need to buckle our act together. And I know there is this thing about there's still a lot of games, but if you're not putting the points on the board, you start to run out of games very quickly. So it's Christmas time. I want Arsenal to start putting the points on the board as well. But guys, let me hear from you, the Arsenal family. What are your thoughts about Gabriel Jesus, the performances? Do you think he should start against Crystal Palace, or should we continue to get Kai Havertz back in the squad? And what do you feel about the potential of players like Marcus Rashford coming to Arsenal? Do you like the sound of that, or you say no thanks as well? So share your opinions and predictions for the upcoming match in the comments below. I am going for an Arsenal win today. I expect Arsenal to win this game with at least 2 clear goals, right? I want to see at least 2 goals. It might be 3-1 as well, because I think Crystal Palace have a goal in them as well. But please also share this in all your channels as well. And guys, please like and subscribe to the channel as well. I want to be doing this a lot more often. I really love talking about Arsenal. I really love talking about football. Check out the other channel that I also feature in as well, Game On Football. And if you also love NFL as well, I also talk NFL as well across the great iron I'll put all the links, guys. Encourage me as well. Subscribe, keep sharing these videos as well. And guys, whatever you do, guys, let's support the boys. Let's cheer them on. I know the narrative is twisted and negative towards Arsenal. They have no one else to pick on. Manchester United got a new manager, so they are waiting for that bubble to burst before they go back to Manchester. Enzo Maresca is doing well in Chelsea. Slot's doing well in Liverpool. Man City, yeah, people are almost afraid to criticize them because of all the success they've had in the past. So they can pick on Arsenal. They're picking on Arsenal, guys. Whatever you do, guys, have a fantastic weekend and come on, you Arsenal.